Yeah, sometimes you just have to start with an idea and make it grow. So thank you very much for joining me here in the studio today, and welcome to Wales. Yes. So yeah, this is where I paint away the stress of everyday life, and I tried to come up with some easy basic paintings, and mainly for the beginner, to try and get your teeth into and understand how the acrylic paint works, because it dries very fast and it's not as manipulable as you think. So without further ado, let's have a look at the palette.
Hey, welcome, thanks for stopping by. It's time to learn with our friend Clive. So grab your brush, have a great time.
Yeah, so having a bit of fun in the studio today, and I want to thank you very much for actually joining me. I come up with a bit of an idea this week as I was walking around, and your brain goes sometimes, and you see certain things, you think, I want to incorporate that into some sort of painting. Before I do that, and before I discuss what I'm going to be doing, I got some vermilion red there. Vermilion, you can use cadmium red, it doesn't really matter what red. I've decided to use a little bit of vermilion today because I want to do another video later on regarding some skin tones and things like that, and some master palettes. I think that would be good. I've got some cadmium yellow, any yellow will do. I've got some Prussian blue, some Mars black, and some white. There we are. That's all I'm going to do today. So if you look at the actual bit of cardboard I got today, I'm working on cardboard again. I've taken the liberty of drawing out a picture of somebody on a push bike. Now I'm going to put the original drawing up for you on screen. There you go. And if you want to pause the video and take a screenshot of that, and then you can use that as reference. So that was just basically just a quick little sketch I did out of my mind as regards to this painting is concerned, and I thought I wanted to build a painting around that. So all I basically did is just trace that onto there. So I took a little tracing of my drawing, and I just put it on there. You could fix that if you want to fix it, but I'm not going to bother. So I was thinking, obviously I seen this push bike, this person riding this push bike, and they had these big thick wheels on. They were like that. I thought, wow, that a push bike. I thought that a push bike. So I want to incorporate that. So I'm gonna start off with a little bit of white there, just like that. Just a blob of white. Chuck that brush in. I want to get a bigger brush, really, don't I? I need to get a bigger brush. Have I got a bigger brush? There we are. I'll use this one. There we go. I'll use this one. And I get some yellow. I'm gonna put a little. Well, that needs a little bit of white. So sometimes cadmium yellow, you'll find that cadmium yellow is quite transparent. You can see how thin that is. And I've just added a bit of white to that. There you go. That's better. I've just added a bit of white to that and taking my white spot away now. Just added a bit of white to that. There we go. Just build that around like that. Bit more yellow. Bring some more yellow into the sky like this. This is the sky, obviously. Yeah, so I thought, wow, that is one push bike and a half. I thought the wheels on that I was in awe of these wheels. I can't remember seeing anything like that before. They were quite big. So I just added a bit of vermilion. The vermilion is a lovely colour. It's quite a subtle red, I find. It's good for skin tones and things, which is something I want to talk about later on in another video, which I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to try not to paint over my drawing, because we want to put him in later. I want to try and get a little bit of this red down there. There we go. Just paint around him like that. There we go. Just paint around him like that. Don't worry too much about it. There we go. Just getting this colour in. Get a bit more red. Because we could paint in another sunset-y painting, I think, today. Well, we are now. It's not exactly what I had planned, but I think it's nice to do these brightly coloured paintings sometimes, and the reason I've decided to do this today is because I wanted to practice a little bit with, now what have I got in this bottle? Is this water? I don't know if that's water or it's a mixture of something I've done. Just, yeah, no, I can smell alcohol in that. Don't spray that on your painting. There's my Mr. bottle. Is that a Mr. bottle? Let's have a look. Spray in the back of my hand now because I don't want to. That's water. There we go. Yeah. Just spray a little bit of that. Yeah, I use rubbing alcohol in some water. Sometimes you can spray that into the paint and it will actually stop the paint from drying. I wouldn't advise you using too much of it, but the other thing is good for as well. I don't know if you can see my trousers. I don't want to tilt the camera. Let me see if I can tilt this camera down. If you can see my trousers, they're actually full of paint. And if you've got a little bit of paint on some trousers or something, just spray a little bit of this alcohol in there like that and give it a good old rub and get some water and wash it off, and it'll actually come out of your clothes. There you go. Hello. There we are again. Yeah, alcohol is good for alcohol is actually good for that. I'm gonna get a little bit of this Prussian blue into the sky. I mean, just get that yellow off my brush. I tend to be a bit of a messy painter because I don't want it to go green. That's the reason. Bit of red. I'm going to spray that with just a little touch more water. This is just drying on me a little bit. There we go. You can see it doesn't matter on card how thin you do your acrylics. That's why I think you can learn more on cardboard than you can on canvas. Canvas is a different creature altogether. Canvas is such a different creature to paint on, and I think if you can manipulate and use acrylics on cardboard, then painting on canvas is going to be quite an easy affair afterwards, I think. So we got this lovely sky coming in there. Let's get a bit more blue. I want a little bit more blue. It's just showing, just a touch of water there. I just got a little bit more blue just coming into the top of this sky. I like this. And I tell you what I'm going to do later on. I'm going to paint another summery type of painting because we got autumn's on the way, or in America it's called the fall because the leaves fall off the trees. I think that's why you call it the fall, but we call it autumn. And in Wales and in England, a little bit of red in the sky because red and blue make a purple colour. There we go. Well, it doesn't make a purple colour. It does make does make purple. So let's bring a bit of that in, sweeping down into the sky like that. Now I'm going to wash this brush and get a bit more of this yellow. Blending that in. Just like that. So use a little bit of water. Try and paint in a couple of different sections, and just what I'm doing is very lightly now bringing my brush off the surface of the painting, just to get that effect of maybe there's some just reflections of some clouds and stuff. These little stringy type of clouds in the sky. Bringing a bit of that red across there. And these are lovely easy paintings for you to try to get the grips with. And I think it's it's a lovely way to learn to paint, and I think to be able just to get a little bit of paint onto a surface that you're painting on, and have something to show for it at the end of the day, because it can be quite a task to learn to paint. And I really do appreciate that. You know, we as artists and YouTubers, we tend to make things look a little bit easy, and I know from experience and on all the years that I've actually been painting that is by far the case. It's not easy to learn new skills. It really is not. And so we're just bringing in a balance of colour just down like this. And just brushing the paint in, getting used to using the brush, getting used to feeling that paint going onto the canvas, and just doing a splash of colour here and there like this, and getting that lovely sunset, sunrise type of feeling. Never put yourself into a corner and say it's a sunrise, you know, or a sun, you know, it just says a sunrise or sunset. Let the person looking at your artwork make that decision themselves. You need to keep a little bit of mystery when you're creating work like this, because you don't want to. What you don't want to do is you don't want to take too much away from the viewer. That's the plan. Now you can see that's got a little bit of green there. There's a reason I've done that, and it'll be quite evident in a second. There we go. So we got a sky going on. I'm going to wash my brush, and I'm just going to dry that now very quickly with a hairdryer, because I want to do something with that which I normally do, just to make it look a little bit more of a glow. And we'll put a few different clouds and things in there in a second. One of my favorite things to do is put a glow into the sky area, and I'm just gonna grab just a little brush a minute, because I just want to, what I want to do is just put a sun just coming in like that. There you go. Just a little glow in the sky. There we are. I'll put a few light spots here like that. And a little bit there. There we go. I like building in layers. I'm going to get a little bit of yellow flicking up. Just like this. Now I did have a comment the other day about my hand always being in the way when I'm painting, which is quite awkward actually to set up my camera in the situation I am, to just to get the brush itself rather than my hand. I do try to do that. I do try to limit the damage that my hand is doing as far as the camera is concerned. But sometimes I just can't. I have to paint with my hand like this rather than like that, because it's just basically brush control. So I'm just going to dry that very quickly again. Now I'll get my big brush. This is just a short flat. I don't use many brushes. Really, I just use like some detail brushes, some short flats, and that's it really. You don't need all these hundreds and hundreds of thousands of brushes like I've got stuck over there. I have got pots and pots and pots of brushes everywhere here. I've got pots over there, I've got pots over there. It's unbelievable. So I thinned some yellow paint down. Now I'm just gonna lightly brush that just over the sky like this. And over that white I've just done, just like that. And then I'm going to dry that again with a hairdryer. It just puts a little bit of a glow on there. It can increase the whiteness of that sun momentarily. But for now, what I'm going to do is get a little bit of blue just there and some vermilion red. I'm going to make a lovely, lovely purple. A lovely purple like this. Nice dark colour. And now I'm going to put in just a mountain shape like this. I'll try and use my brush on the side so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to allow I'm not brushing it in, I'm not going to smooth that, I'm not smoothing it down like this, I'm just leaving it rough like that. Now there's a couple of things you can do. You can get a little bit of tissue paper, and if you make your tissue paper like this into like a little, like a pencil shape or an eraser shape or something like that, and you can just pull off a little bit of paint like that. There you go. Just pull off a little bit of paint. You don't need to work hard, or you could get a little card. You've seen me using these before, and then you can put some rock details in like this. So put the paint on, and then you can get your card, and what you're doing is you're working smart and not hard. So instead of trying to paint light paint onto dark paint, all you're doing basically is you're putting some paint on. Let's do this bit then. And all you got to do then to make that look really, really effective is just scrape a bit of paint away like that. Look. Tap it with your finger, and before you know it, you've got a lovely mountain that's picking up the glow of that sun there. Now, what we need to do again, and there's a lot of this going to be going on today, we need to just dry that very quickly. Back into my brush, I'm going to get some white and yellow. Look at this, and we'll put some mist in there. Just mist that out down. Misting that down like that. Get a bit of red, bit of Prussian blue, making that colour up again as close as we can. And maybe put a few. Freezing things. There. Touch of that little white colour. Oh, too much. Just a little touch of light. There, like that. A few little trees just dotting around. Let's get that brush cleaned, because what I want to do now is get some more of this yellow down there, a little bit more red, lovely, lovely, lovely red. Maybe just come in behind that mountain and touch like that. Bit more of that purpley colour. There you go. So we've got a lovely scene, a mountainy type of scene coming on there. It looks really cool, doesn't it? What I want to do now is I want to get this brush. I'm going to get this big brush. I want to get some purple. Now I want to make this more blue than purple, really. So I want to put a bit of red into that. I'm actually going to touch a small touch of black. I'm just going to make sure everything is recording. Now I want to come down. I want to come down like this. Maybe we need to come down more like that. There we go. That's better. A bit of black, because we're looking at more of a silhouette now than anything, and we just need to set that off a touch. There we go. So it's quite a silhouette-y type of effect. And just tap in a couple of bushes and bits of grass and things like that. Maybe we could put a bigger tree or something. I don't know what type of tree that is. It doesn't really matter. Get a little bit of just light, just catching, just a touch. Just a touch. There we go. Not a lot. I'm going to dry that section a little bit more. Getting a bit of this yellowy orange colour. Just down there like that. Maybe just put an essence of maybe something down there in the background. I'm just going to very lightly put in maybe a mountain or some sort of range. It's just barely visible there, like that. Just barely visible. Basically just very lightly staining that red colour that I put in there, like that. So you can see it's just put a bit more detail in a minute. We could get, let me think, maybe we could put something not so tall. We don't want to destroy that mountain, do we? So we need to put in maybe something just a little bit. Just a little bit to catch a light like that. Don't forget, this is a mountain that I'm going up on the push bike. So I need to put in a little bit of grass and stuff like that. This way I think a little bit of light might catch. I'm trying not to go too bright, if I can help it. Maybe that is a little bit bright there. Maybe we can colour. We'll knock that back in a second. It's a little bit bright. I'm not happy with that, but it's a little bit bright. So before I do that, let me get a detailing brush, and I'm just going to go into some Prussian blue and black. And now I'm going to try not to obscure my hand if I can help it. A big chunky wheel. It was big wheels, they were big wheels. They were. I just remind myself of my drawing. I'm just going to put my sketch on my knee by there. It might be a bit rough with the way I'm holding this brush, but you can get the idea of what I'm doing, and I'm sure you could do a much better job than me. I quite like these silhouette paintings. You don't have to do a lot with them, really. But they do make for effective paintings, they really do. Don't have to worry too much about detail. Just emphasize it might have a hat on. Just get that shape in. As long as it looks roughly. Might maybe put a rucksack on his back. There you go. Very, very lightly. Pull some spokes through. Take your time, take your time, take your time. Don't rush like me. There you go. So we got a man on a bike. We have got a man on a bike. Let's put a little bit of highlight. Just like that, a little bit of highlight just to touch it in, a bit more black. I'm going to get some black now. I'm really going to darken this up now I got the bones of it in. And then just paint in some black. Take your time, don't rush. I'm limited to, I'm not limited, I could paint paintings, it could take me 4 hours. But I like to limit myself to paintings to be a certain length for YouTube. And that's why I do what I do. Because I like to hopefully encourage people to have a go and not to worry too much. Because we tend to overthink things sometimes. And if you're doing something like as quick and easy as this, then what you find is that you tend to relax a little bit more. That's what I find personally. Now I'm gonna just get I got a little brush I just got my eye on. I haven't used this one for quite a while actually. So I'm just gonna get some black and some blue, and I'm just gonna put in some shadows. Just like that. Maybe just go over that a little bit like that. I'm not too worried about this area because it's all in shadow, but I just want to lift some things like that, and hopefully you can see that he's going up some sort of mountainside there. Just bedding him down. And he's on his way up some sort of a path on his push bike. I'm going to get a bit of more white just on a brush, and all I'm going to do now is just strengthen sun just like that. There you go. A little bit of light even if he's in silhouette, it just adds for a little bit of glow. There we go. And I leave the rest entirely up to you, and you enjoy, and you try and create something from a sketch like that. So I'll put it up once more. Please pause the video and take a snapshot of that, and that's basically it. So if you liked what you've seen today, a thumbs up is really appreciated, because that just shows to people that you've enjoyed watching it, and it might encourage them to watch it as well. So and if you want to subscribe, then please feel free to subscribe. And as I said, it's free, completely free, and I just paint away the stress of everyday life here in Wales on a Monday. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.